Believe it or not, The Sims 3 base game came out 16 years ago. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, but because of that, I know many may think it's even crazier that there's a huge fan base who's very vocal about expressing their love for this game still today in 2025, especially if you've never played the game or if The Sims 4 was your first experience with the whimsical, magical world of Sims. And that's why today we'll be checking out The Sims 3 base game from Create a Sim to Live mode and see how it performs, what comes with the base game, and find out if The Sims 3 superiority actually passes the test of time. But also, and more importantly, how much drama can we get out of this game? Because you're watching the Drama House, honey, and this is Lady Drama speaking, so, you know, live sim and drama is kind of the vibe over here. Welcome, by the way, I'm so happy you're here. First things first, the base game comes with one neighborhood, the fabulous Sunset Valley, a place described as the predecessor of Pleasant View, and yes, we love that lore continuity. I know you may be thinking one world is not that much, but babe, not only is the Sunset Valley map huge, but it also comes with a lot of pre-made sims and a lot of lore. For example, you have the Goth family with little Mortimer and his parents, the Bachelor family with the iconic Bella, who's not yet Bella Goth, her brother Michael and her parents, but also you have the richest side of town divided between an old money and a new money family, the Landgrab and the Alto families. I mean, honestly, just the lore of Sunset Valley deserves its own video, so let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see, because I'm always up for a lore deep dive. However, for the sake of today's video, we'll go to Create a Sim to check what options we have there as per base game. The first sim I'm creating will be named Georgina Williams, and with a name like that, she has to be wearing a cowboy hat. A cowboy hat that I get to customize fully, because one of the beautiful things about The Sims 3 is the high level of customization you get in the game with the Create a Style tool and the recoloring tool for hair. I'll be honest though, the base game doesn't really give you many hairstyles to pick from, and the ones you do get are very representative of the time. Like, what is this crazy hair, and why did I think it was peak fashion back in 2009?
Oh my god!
However, from my personal experience, I have to tell you, there's so much custom content for The Sims 3 that you can get and install for free, and adding it to the game is super simple as the launch menu helps you with that. So I'd say, honestly, don't let the scarcity of hairstyles prevent you from enjoying The Sims 3 base game. One cool thing about Create a Sim is that you can get some tattoos for your sim. There aren't many to pick from, it's true, but it's nice to have them in the base game already. Now, let's talk clothes, baby. The categories you get are everyday, formal, sleepwear, activewear, and swimwear, because the sections for hot weather and outwear only come with the expansion pack Seasons. You know, the Sims games and their lovely habit of putting weather behind a paywall. But apart from that, you do have a nice selection of clothes, shoes, and accessories to pick from, and just like with hair and hair accessories, everything is customizable with Create a Style. From the trim of the dress to the color of the slippers, honey. And yes, spoiler alert, you get to do the same in buy mode and really personalize the way your Sims and their home look. Also, since we mentioned custom content before, the custom content for The Sims 3 also means you can download specific patterns or materials to use in Create a Style. Even if there are many in the base game already, sometimes you might need something very specific and you'll probably find it as custom content. Now, let me show you my favorite part of Create a Sim in The Sims 3. Honestly, if making your own leopard print didn't convince you, you'll be shocked by the customization in The Sims personality. Because the game allows you to pick 5 personality traits out of 64 options. Yeah, you heard it right. You have a lot of traits you can pick from, including stuff like brave, no sense of humor, couch potato, vehicle enthusiast, and more. Based on the combination of traits you pick, the game will suggest a list of 5 compatible lifetime wishes, but if you want something different, you can just load the full list and pick from there. There are more than 20 lifetime wishes you can scroll through, and they vary from having a great family to creating the perfect garden, becoming a rock star, or a superstar news anchor. For Georgina, I picked the traits of athletic, daredevil, handy, friendly, and heavy sleeper. Her lifetime wish is to become an international super spy. But that's not all, folks. Georgina's favorite food is cheesesteak, her favorite music genre is Latin, and her favorite color obviously is hot pink. And yes, you can decide all of that together with your Sim's voice and her zodiac sign. Feeling nostalgic yet? We're just getting started, babe. For a one sim budget, you get to choose between 4 different homes and many empty lots. I moved Georgina into a pre-built home just because I felt the money might not have been enough to build an entire house, but then I remembered, considering you can always create a style and modify colors and patterns on all furniture, you won't spend too much money to furnish a house because recoloring objects is free. In my case, I got to redo the colors of the living room just by picking a new pattern. I didn't even have to change the paint that was preset on the walls of this house. It's so good. And because of that, after having redone living room and kitchen, we still had money to buy a car, which of course is also fully customizable. Also, yes, I know I am making a pink nightmare out of this girl's home, but that's her eccentric personality on display, okay? Because with so much choice in colors and patterns, you can just be over the top with your Sim's taste. Not everything has to be aesthetically pleasing if you don't want to, and that's refreshing, especially playing this in 2025. At least that's my perspective on the terrible color scheme I picked for this living room, and I have no regrets about it. But do you know what I regret? I regret not having browsed the website of this video's beautiful sponsor earlier in my life, because thanks to Instagaming, I was able to purchase the Sims 3 base game with a fabulous discount, and honestly, I wish I had done the same for all the games I have ever purchased in my life, especially all my Sims games. Seriously, the prices are incredible, not just for the base game, but for all the expansion packs too. If you've ever wanted to build that perfect dream save with all the content, this is your chance to grab them for a fraction of the original price. And the process is so easy. Once you've made your purchase, installing the game is super user-friendly, even if you're not super techy. Plus, Instant Gaming supports multiple platforms from PC to PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. And you'll find them all listed right at the top of the page. With a fantastic Trustpilot score and reliable 24/7 customer service, you can shop with total confidence. If you click the link in my description, you'll be instantly transported to a gamer's paradise. Right on the homepage, you'll see all the trending titles, the absolute best sellers, and even a section dedicated to pre-orders if you like to be ahead of the curve. So, if you are done paying full price for games, because honestly, same, make sure to click the link in the description. You'll score amazing discounts and support the channel at the same time. It's a win-win, babe. A huge thank you to Instant Gaming for sponsoring today's video. And now, let's switch out of build mode and head back into live mode, because things are about to get even more interesting. Believe it or not, our athletic pink lover Georgina lives next to another athletic queen of Sunset Valley, Miss Erin Kennedy, and as soon as I saw her, I knew these two girlies had to meet and bond over their love for muscles. Plus, talking to Erin gave Georgina a chance to show off her daredevil trait by eating some dirt. In The Sims 3, when you're interacting with other Sims, you can always discover their personality traits, which immediately tells you if they can get along or not. Also, you can tell immediately by their interactions if they have any chances at hitting it off. Georgina is a friendly Sim, so she'll most likely have some good results from the get-go, but you know, you can always meet Sims who are unfriendly or simply insane and see things derail from there. Anyway, as I was staring at these two queens' impressively toned legs, I decided to check how far the local gym is from Georgina's house, and I opened the map view. Because honey, I know you might have heard how great it is to have an open world map as opposite to the loading screens you get in The Sims 4. And honestly, that's true. I cannot deny it. The open map makes you see what is where and easily send your sim there, and of course, they will go where you send them without having you sit through a loading screen. The gym is basically next to Erin's house, so Georgina just ran there, but in case of further locations, Sims will hop in their car or get a taxi to drive them to their destination, and I know some may think it's stupid to sit and watch Sims drive around town, but personally, I love it. At the gym, not only did we get a chance to show off Georgina's athletic skills, but we also found the creme de la creme of Sunset Valley. On the treadmill next to ours, Mrs. Cornelia Goth was miserably failing at her workout routine. But no shame, queen, keep going. And little Kaylin Langerak? Yeah, the infamous Kaylin, who will become a maid in Pleasant View and sleep with some of the reddest flags in town. Well, she appeared at the gym to watch TV while her mother was having an intense workout in the next room. Kaylin's dad also appeared, and because he's kind of attractive, I had to send Georgina to talk to him. I had to, sorry not sorry.
Anna, Bro, Hadaluna, Crone,
Turkna, Villaginda.
Yokola.
Who's up?
Being a daredevil, the option Georgina had to take a shower was take an extreme shower until extremely clean. And I know it's a little detail that doesn't really change much in the gameplay, but I really enjoy these kind of things because they add more nuance to the gameplay and definitely invite you to discover all the options you get with different Sims and different personalities. After using the bathroom, Georgina stopped by the city hall to take a greeting card because she's determined to become a true Sunset Valley patriot, and nothing says patriot like a nice picture at the city hall, right? Plus, I really like taking greeting cards because they're a great way for you to have staged pictures of your sim to hang around their homes. If you have more than one sim in your household, they can take a picture together, and that's very cute. A stop at the local diner was needed as Georgina was starting to feel hungry, and while it's true, places like the diner and the theater are rabbit holes, it's also true they all come with the base game, and they do impact the gameplay not only because they give Sims moodlets according to the experience they're having, but also because around these lots you always find Sims to socialize with, as the game has them coming and going, moving around town, giving it a very lively vibe. I was actually surprised about this because I thought no expansion packs installed would mean less things happening around town. Like, for example, you don't get the seasonal festivals that ship with the Seasons expansion pack, but even with just the base game, you get the feeling this town is very much alive, filled with opportunities for things to happen. After her lunch break, Georgina went on to socialize with some other locals, and once again, surprisingly, I realized the system of attraction between Sims is already in place within the base game. When we met this man, Gobias, I got the notification that she was attracted to him, and the two of them seemed to have chemistry. Honestly, I really thought this was not a base game feature, and I was very surprised to see it pop up. Also, Georgina, what are you thinking? I don't think this man is your type.
Aga Pasami.
Oh, Darniyar. Zim.
Flavanu. Vado.
Was du Kivas?
On the next day, after a nice waffle for breakfast, Georgina paid her bills and went for a jog to explore more around the neighborhood. Somehow, she ended up at the bachelor's home, and I mean, we had to ring the doorbell and get to know these Sims. When Jocasta opened the door, a notification popped up to let us know these Sims are rich, honey. As if we couldn't tell from the size of this house. So after some chit-chat and some shameless use of their TV to watch some football, yeah, Georgina is that kind of Sim, I realized it's probably the right time for this girl to get a job and work towards achieving her lifetime wish. It's time to join the law enforcement career, honey. Jobs in The Sims 3 can be picked in the traditional ways from either the newspaper or the computer, but also, for some careers, you can simply go to the work location and apply there. And that's what we did, cause ain't nobody got time to browse the paper. Georgina got hired as a snitch in the law enforcement career, and even if it's not the most flattering job title in the world, this girl was so happy about it, she called Cornelia Goth to tell her the big news, as if Miss Cornelia will envy us for being hired as a snitch. Anyways, I felt it was very appropriate to throw a little party before the day ended to celebrate Georgina's arrival to Sunset Valley and the new job. Plus, it never hurts to make some extra friends in this town, especially because the career progression will later require for us to make friends in order to get a promotion. Everybody knows that if you want your Sims party to succeed, you'll have to spend some money to have things around the house to keep your guests entertained. So, considering Georgina's house is very small, I decided to add some things in her front yard like a table, a football, and a grill to make some hot dogs for our guests. Little did I know, or better, I did not remember, that when you throw a house party in The Sims 3, guests will usually bring some food to share with everyone, which is such a nice touch because while Georgina was burning those hot dogs, her neighbors arrived with the fruit parfait, lobster, and veggie burgers. And yes, we did have a full house because the game allowed me to invite basically all the Sims Georgina knew, and they all showed up. The party was great, everyone had a good time, apart from some arguments here and there. An understandable outcome when you invite random people from different households, but you know me, I love to see the drama unfold. Also, I'm sorry to say this, but it seems Bella's father, Simis, is a real pain in the ass. Like, every time I've seen him, he was pissing off somebody. Like, what's wrong with him?
Arbo Vinci.
Since the next day was going to be Georgina's first day on the job, I was hoping she would get rested and ready to start, but apparently she woke up with the moodlet that said bad night's sleep. Probably due to the cheap bed she's been sleeping on. Well, tough luck, girl. We don't have money to upgrade your bed right now. I don't know why, but I was expecting to see her wearing something like a uniform for her first day of work, but of course, she's really starting from the bottom, and so she's just dressed casually, I guess to go for undercover assignments, although she's keeping the fabulous hat, cause slay. The carpool drove her to the police station where she officially started her dream job, and you know what? I got to sit there and check how her day was going because okay, the job is a rabbit hole, but you can switch the actions your Sims perform while working and decide whether you want them to be working hard, chatting with their coworkers, or anything else specific to that career. For example, with Georgina, I could have her work out at the police station gym, sleep in a prison cell, or work on a case independently. And also, while she was working, an opportunity popped up, giving her the chance to do a side quest in order to gain work performance and increase her relationship with her boss. Obviously, we took it, and once her shift was over, Georgina drove to the location in order to gather intel on a suspect gnome stealing scheme. Of course, it's The Sims. It had to have something to do with gnomes, honey. And with those shady land grabs, because Nancy was exiting the building just when Georgina was entering. And yes, I loved it. Because if there's anywhere you'll find Nancy land grab, it has to be a business facility, right? Honestly, I was not expecting for the base game to keep me so entertained and have me wanting to stay and play until this girlie actually becomes a spy legend. I recently had a computer malfunction and I lost basically everything I had in it, and with that, I lost the version of The Sims 3 that I had, a version from the 7 Seas, which included all the packs, so I hadn't played with the base game only since I had it on disc when The Sims 3 came out. I'm saying this because only now that I purchased the base game and played with it without any expansion packs, I realized how good it is. Many aspects that I was enjoying when playing with the full collection are actually base game features, like the amount of careers, the social interactions, all the community lots and opportunities. And that's why I'm confident when I tell you that in 2025, The Sims 3 is a fucking solid game, even without any DLCs. It runs smoothly, things keep happening, and it's clear that even if you're missing things like the weather or pets and you have one world to play in only, the game will keep you so entertained for a long time. The world map is big and filled with places to explore and Sims to meet, and whether you're playing with one Sim or with a household with multiple Sims, you will have a good time. And honestly, if you want to give it a try, my suggestion is get the base game and start from there. Once you start having the need for certain features, pick and choose whichever expansion packs fit your gameplay style the most. I don't think you'll be missing hairstyles, clothes, or objects because you can highly customize the base game ones, so it's really a matter of what you value when you're playing. At least, I think that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll just enjoy what the base game has to offer until I feel the real need for specific gameplay aspects. Obviously, I'm here to share with you all my thoughts and feedback, so do let me know if you want to see a part 2 of Georgina's life and which expansion pack you think we should try out next. I'm not gonna lie, Seasons and Generations are probably the most wanted on my list, but I'm absolutely open to suggestions. If you want to join me in this rediscovery of The Sims 3, don't forget to click on the link in this video description and find out all the beautiful deals Instagaming has in store for us. And while you're at it, please do subscribe to the Drama House here on YouTube so you won't miss the next videos, deep dives, and live streams. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I appreciate you so much and I send you a big virtual hug. My name is Lady Drama and I hope I'll see you very soon.